Here I am. I'm in Florida, baby. Welcome to Vince. Great to have you with us on a Tuesday. It's Vince. It's me. I'm glad you're here. Man, we got a big show for you today. We really do. All of it's brought to you by Blackout Coffee, the official coffee of all of us here at Silverlock. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Vince. Use the code Vince. That's VINCE, and you're going to get 20% off your first order. Blackout Coffee. I'm enjoying my Blackout Coffee. You see, the nice thing is wherever I go, Blackout Coffee is there for me, including right here in sunny South Florida. Hold up. We've got big news today. We've got the news about the effort to go after the entire Obama conspiracy against President Trump. Pam Bondi is actually doing something. I've been very concerned about Pam Bondi. It is good to see the action that she's taken in the last 24 hours. I've got updates on that. The media are just ubiquitously lying about what's going on right now at the Trump Justice Department. We'll get into some of the details there. Also, joining us today, an excellent reporter on, he covers everything related to the Chi-Coms. His name's Philip Lenjicki. Amazing reporting on the Communist Chinese and what they're up to here in the United States of America. Don't miss it. And we've got some treats ahead as well. You know, it's Florida week, so I've got treats for you. It's all ahead on this edition of Vince. Before we move on, though, I do have to tell you about the great sponsors of this program. And it would be helpful if Justin put into my teleprompter the sponsor that I'm looking for. Who is that? Who are we telling you all about right now? Oh, Birch Gold. Well, good. That's good news because I love Birch Gold, and I'm very happy that Birch Gold supports this program. Could the continued divide between Trump and the Federal Reserve put us behind the curve? Can the Fed actually take the right action this time, or are we going to be looking at a potential economic slowdown? And what could this mean for your savings? Consider diversifying with gold through Birch Gold Group. For decades, gold has been viewed as a safe haven in times of economic stagnation, global uncertainty, and high inflation. And Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy for you to diversify some of your savings into gold. If you've got an IRA or an old 401k, you can convert that into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or just buy some gold to keep in your safe. First, get educated. Birch Gold's going to send you a free info kit on gold. Just text my name, Vince, to the number 989898. Again, text Vince to 989898. Consider diversifying a portion of your savings into gold. That way, if the Fed can't stay ahead of the curve for the country, well, at least you can stay ahead of the curve for yourself and for your family. Data and message rates apply. Let's do it. Yes, somebody asked, do I have a black eye? Is that why I'm wearing the sunglasses? Yes, I have two black eyes. I was punched in the face walking around the streets of Florida. No, this is a beautiful area. This is like, everyone's super nice. Nobody would punch me. It was wonderful. I'm just wearing the glasses because it's bright out and I love the glasses. Okay, we've got news that that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, has now issued orders to her prosecutors to impanel a grand jury to go after the entire Russiagate conspiracy. Here is David Spunt over on the Fox News channel announcing the breaking news Monday.
Well, Will, good to be with you. This is coming out of the Justice Department. Fox News can confirm that Attorney General Pam Bondi today signed an order directing an unnamed U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 candidate Donald Trump to the country of Russia. Now, Fox News reviewed the one-page order just hours ago signed by the Attorney General. A source familiar with the probe confirms this as well, while a DOJ spokesperson declined to comment on this report of an investigation. Fox is told Attorney General Bondi is taking the referrals from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, quote, very seriously. The spokesperson says that Bondi believes there is, quote, clear cause for deep concern, end quote, and a need for the next steps.
Okay, look, there's a constant theme that exists on this program and among conservatives all over this great country, which is we demand accountability now. We want action. It's not enough to talk about what they did. What we need is consequences for what they did. And in order to get there, these are the steps you have to take. This is mandatory. What you are witnessing right now is the required step in order to get to these prosecutions. They're impaneling a grand jury. Now, by now, you likely know that grand jury proceedings are done in secret. There will be a grand jury impaneled that will meet, it will review the evidence, and will decide to bring indictments on the basis of that evidence. What's the old expression about grand juries? You can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich, is the phrase. In other words, any prosecutor with two brain cells to rub together should be able to convince a grand jury to bring a case against this entire Obama-led conspiracy. It's a big deal, and this is a critical step to doing it. So we get confirmation that the grand jury is being impaneled. We don't know who the prosecutor is going to be, but we do have some tips on where this grand jury may actually be impaneled. If you've been paying attention to the details of all of this, you will do well to pay attention to the reporting of at least two reporters. There's a lot of them out there who are very good, but John Solomon has been wonderful. Paul Sperry has been wonderful. But right now I want to focus on John Solomon for a moment. Solomon says that this grand jury is likely to be impaneled in Florida. Yeah, baby. Take a look. John Solomon.
This is a major development. We told you last week that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, had given permission for a strike force to begin. That's a very specific tool the Justice Department uses on major conspiracies. And we told you then we would know it was getting serious when the grand jury jumped into action. We now know that a grand jury will be impaneled. Most likely, my sources are telling me, it could be in Florida, where the raid of President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home happened.
Could be in Florida. All right, let me review why that matters. You don't want this thing in D.C. D.C. is a complete disaster, as you know. D.C. is a rigged ball game. It's an area where 95% of the people who are in the district are Democrat voters. That the one exception to the being able to indict a ham sandwich is that if you get a Democrat grand jury fired up in Washington, D.C., they couldn't even indict a ham sandwich. If they found out that the ham sandwich was a Democrat, there's no way. The ham sandwich is getting away with it. That's the way it works in Washington, D.C. So this looks like it's set to be impaneled in Florida. Now, we'll see. You heard John Solomon there talking not with certainty, but with some sense of probability. That's the way he was discussing it. Critically, that piece about Mar-a-Lago, this is something that I've been talking about a lot. If you're going to prosecute this thing as a conspiracy, as an ongoing criminal conspiracy, which, by the way, in case you want to capture everything that happened in 2016, the only way you can do most of that is by making it a part of a criminal conspiracy. That's how the statute of limitations gets to be as long as it is now. Then part of that criminal conspiracy would be Jack Smith's raid of Mar-a-Lago in furtherance of the conspiracy, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. It takes place in Florida. One of the incidences in Florida, you can impanel the grand jury in Florida and get a grand jury of actual Americans with actual brain cells to rub together who can actually come up with the indictments that we need in order to get some justice here. So that's a really big piece of this. Glad to hear John Solomon say this. Now, one of my favorite things about this saga right now is that the left-wing news media is freaking out over this. They're miserable. Watch this. Here's cut 5. MSNBC, miserable in reporting about the news of this grand jury being impaneled.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has ordered a grand jury investigation into the so-called Russiagate conspiracy allegations made by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. These are unsubstantiated and largely debunked allegations by the Trump administration that former President Barack Obama and his aides in the intelligence community ordered a probe into the 2016 Trump campaign's connections to Russia to ruin his chances of becoming president.
No. I mean, she can't even get the details right. It wasn't, no. The whole thing was meant to stagger the incoming Trump presidency. That's what that was about. That's the intelligence community assessment was written after Trump was already elected president of the United States. It was released in January of 2017. Obama, it is well established now, coordinated a group of goons in his administration to try and paralyze the incoming Trump presidency. She can't even describe it well, but man, she is bitching about it. Do you hear how angry she is? I don't even think, she wasn't even on screen, was she, fellas, for that clip? I think that was just B-roll of everything else going on. You didn't even see, that was Nicole Wallace. You didn't even see her resting Democrat face during that segment. But boy, she had it. She was very upset about this. She's not the only one. Another MSNBC segment tried to describe to the audience what's going on. Oh, there she is. Oh, man. People really watch that? How many people watch that? Which person watches that? Maybe that's the appropriate question. Anyway, she's something else. NBC then told a series of lies about what was going on with the opening of the grand jury probe. Here's cut 6, another hilarious NBC segment yesterday.
A couple of weeks ago, Hallie, when really the headlines were dominated by the Jeffrey Epstein controversy, and then the president was sort of trying to change the topic very obviously, and in many different venues was trying to bring up these unsubstantiated claims about the role he argues former President Obama had in the 2016 election and trying to suppress some information that he says would have been damaging if it had come to light. And so then you had the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, come to the White House briefing room, come to the podium and try to share some of this.
That's okay. We can get back to that clip, right? Good. So you listen to what that lady said. I don't even know what that lady's name is. That's just some bit player over at NBC. What she says is Trump is trying to distract from Epstein. I want you to pay attention to that talking point because that is the Democrat talking point here. And what they're really doing, it's once again a case of projection. The left is trying to distract from Obamagate by talking about Epstein. Now, the upside for those of us who live in normal America is that it is possible to focus on both cases at once. And Pam Bondi, for what it's worth, is focusing on both. She has been, speaking of grand juries, she's been trying to make public the grand jury testimony in the Epstein case. You just had the Deputy Attorney General of the United States go and meet with Ghislaine Maxwell to try and suss out whatever information he could get from her in order to make it publicly available. So the Trump administration has not given up on Epstein information. The left just keeps saying that in the hopes that people are misled into believing it. They say, oh, Trump's trying to distract from Epstein. No, you're trying to distract from Obama's crimes. That's what you're trying to do. Continue with the random lady at NBC.
And so then you had the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, come to the White House briefing room, come to the podium and try to share some of this alleged new evidence. But it really does bear repeating. This is looking into something for which there is no evidence to back it up. And it's really, it seems, a politically motivated move to keep the focus on one of the president's clear political foes and talk about basically anything else.
There's no evidence other than the mountain of evidence that we refuse to talk about on NBC. What a demented, distorted funhouse mirror in which they all live. This is a case with a lot of evidence, of course. Evidence that John Brennan, the head of the CIA, lied repeatedly to the American people on a variety of venues, both in the media on places like NBC, as well as directly to Congress, about the scheme to take down Trump. Oh, the Steele dossier wasn't a part of the intelligence community assessment, John Brennan lies. Sure was. Sure was. Thank you, Steel Fang. Steel Fang in the chat saying I look like Duke Nukem because I've got the... Jasmine's losing his mind. Does she not like the glasses? Why doesn't she like the glasses? Where is she? Oh, okay. Well, Jasmine's in the... Okay. Well, anyway, I'm wearing the glasses. Do something about it. But here's the thing. Brennan is lying. Brennan is lying. We have a mountain of evidence for that. Isn't Brennan an NBC contributor? Maybe that's why they can't cover this story. It's like it's a totally corruption of interest here. The other piece here is that Obama clearly went out of his way to try and destroy Trump and paralyze his presidency, to suggest that he colluded with Russia in order to steal it from Hillary. And then the big piece that just got released in this Durham Annex, which NBC refuses to talk about, there's no evidence, they say, is that the United States intelligence community found out that Hillary Clinton was plotting to plant a hoax on Trump, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, completely invented by the Hillary campaign. U.S. intelligence found out about it. And rather than putting the kibosh on it, stopping it, prosecuting the Hillary campaign for whatever they did criminally, instead, they decided to breathe life into the hoax, again, in order to paralyze the duly elected president of the United States. It's as simple as that. It really is. And NBC doesn't want you to know. And then finally, NBC's biggest star is an angry woman called Rachel Maddow. And I think she works once a month, but it's usually when she's really sad about Trump and his presidency. And so last night was no exception. That was one of those nights where she was really sad that President Trump is doing something productive for the country. So here is Rachel Maddow going haywire over the grand jury being impaneled. Here we go.
In the United States is profoundly changing, is profoundly different than it was even 6 months ago. Because we do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge. We have a consolidating dictatorship in our country. And it sounds melodramatic to say it.
Because it is. Because it is. It's psychopathic to say it. It's, oh, these guys are complete tyrants. Really? I don't know. Tyranny to me seems like putting Peter Navarro in leg shackles and throwing him in jail. Tyranny to me seems like throwing Steve Bannon in prison. Tyranny to me seems like going after Mark Houck just for being a Christian who defended his son. Tyranny to me kind of sounds like going to school board meetings and then writing down the license plates of parents who are inside the school board meeting and acting as if they are somehow domestic terrorists. Tyranny to me sounds like targeting Catholics for celebrating traditional Latin Mass. Tyranny to me sounds like arresting people who sing church hymns outside of abortion mills. Maybe I just have an old-fashioned view of tyranny, but boy, I remember tyranny very differently. Tyranny is not, and never has been, holding tyrants accountable. You're just lying. But she has to. So once a month, she comes out to lie. And then she goes away. And how much do they pay her? NBC pays, you know how much they pay her? NBC, what a weird arrangement. NBC pays Rachel Maddow like $20 or $30 million a year to do nothing. Is she really that valuable on the open market that they just need to, let's just pay her not to go work somewhere else? Like, nobody's watching that network anyway. Is it $25 million? $45 million to do nothing. Oh, she took a $5 million pay cut, Guy tells me, in order to work 1 day a month. You know something? Let me think about it. I would take that deal. I know that's a bold choice. I would take that deal. Okay, is that the question? Do we have like a poll feature? Okay. All right, here's the deal, chap. The sunglasses have attracted quite a bit of controversy. And I understand, I get it. So what the fellas are going to do right now is they're going to launch a poll, and this will be a pure democracy. It's Y or N. Is there a way to measure this, or you guys just eyeball it? Okay. So if you want me to keep wearing the sunglasses, Y. If you want the sunglasses to disappear, N. And you vote, and the boys are going to tally it all up, and then we'll have an answer for you coming up in a moment. Y or N? Yes, keep them on. N, ditch them and make Jasmine happy. Here we go. Hey, have you heard of Caralluma by any chance? It's an edible cactus that grows in India. It's believed to be a natural appetite suppressant. Caralluma is just one of the natural ingredients doctors added to a remarkable weight loss supplement called Lean from Brickhouse Nutrition. If you have a bold summer weight loss goal, but injections are not for you, here's what the doctors who formulated Lean have said. They said that this supplement is as close as we've come to the benefits of those popular injections. Like injections, Brickhouse Nutrition's Lean, well, it was created to help maintain healthy blood sugar and help control appetite and cravings. But the rare ingredients in Lean are also designed to help burn fat by converting that fat into energy. And the best part, no needles, just real results. Yeah, their doctors have created a healthier way to lose weight by capturing the power of natural ingredients, like Caralluma. It's very smart. So let's get you started with 20% off. Just use the code VINCE20 at takelean.com. That's code Vince20 at takelean.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, and it's not a substitute or alternative for care from a healthcare provider. Our thanks to Brickhouse Nutrition. How we doing? Do we have a measurement right now? It's coming. The judges are crunching the numbers as we speak on the vote. The chat's going. Can you rig the vote? Is it really close right now? Oh, so I have a theory about this chat, which is that the people who are voting no are just doing it because they want to see if they can get me to do something physically different. Like they want me to manipulate myself in some capacity. The yes, we're at 56.6% right now on the yes. Keep the shades. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, this is democracy in action. And we respect the voters. So when do we close the polls, guys? It's closed? All right, so we're keeping them for now. We'll see if we have another vote. But thank you to all of you who voted to support my fashion choices. My guess is my wife voted no. She supports me, but not all of my fashion choices, I'll be honest. All right. So we have a lot of good information coming out right now about that grand jury being impaneled. Let's do another vote here. This is not an actual poll, other than I just want to get your reaction, chat. Are you pleased with Pam Bondi on this, impaneling this grand jury? Are you pleased with this? I hear a round of applause in the production booth. I want to know, because here's the beef that I've had. You remember a couple of weeks ago, all the Pam Bondi drama we were keeping an eye on? Because Pam Bondi was the one who said that she ought all this Epstein stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of people who were pleased with her on this one. She said, we're going to release all this Epstein stuff. And that ended up being like a gigantic nothing burger. They did not release anything of meaning. She overpromised, underdelivered. It was awful. It was totally awful. But I knew for a fact, and you knew for a fact, that Tulsi Gabbard was serious about prosecutions. You knew for a fact that Kash Patel is serious about prosecutions. You knew for a fact that Dan Bongino is serious about prosecutions. The President of the United States himself sat in the Oval Office and said that Barack Obama is guilty of treason. These guys are not screwing around. So what was Pam Bondi doing in the midst of all of this? And candidly, I was sitting there doubtful. Yeah, some people are still doubtful of Bondi. Bondi sucks, somebody says. I got it. This one, I'll take it. I'll take it. A grand jury now finally being impaneled. That's a positive step in the right direction. Now, here's a couple things that I need you to know about. One, there are still Republicans out there who are saying things like, we don't need prosecutions in order to hold these people accountable. I know. It's crazy. They're saying we could shame them. If we shame them, then the message is accomplished. Here's Trey Gowdy this weekend, former congressman, cut 8 on Fox News, saying, well, it's not just arrests. We could wag our fingers at them. Look.
And unfortunately for Brennan, the same allergy to the truth that he has now. He is allergic to the truth. He lied in that part of his testimony, and he lied about whether or not the dossier was used in court filings. The statute's wrong, but to Leslie's point, handcuffs are not the only way we mete out accountability in this culture. There's shame, there's history. It's not just prison. There are other ways we mete out accountability, and the fact that somebody's not wearing handcuffs does not, to me, think that what they did is okay, because it wasn't.
I'm sorry. What? I don't know about you. That's not going to fly with me. No, it's not enough. Shame is not. How do you shame someone who has no shame? How do you shame somebody whose entire history of abuses has never been met with consequences? In fact, any parent knows this instinctively. If you let your child get away with awful things, they're going to keep perpetrating awful things, and they're never once going to feel a sense of shame about it. They've become accustomed to the fact that they can get away with anything, and then if they want to, they can lie about it without consequence. That's what these people have done. So no, I'm sorry, that's not the way it works, former Congressman Trey Gowdy. Shame is not going to be enough here. And he's among the people who've kind of indicated, I think in that clip, and there's others who've said this too, well, the statute of limitations has run out, so there's really no way for us to go after these. Nope, not good enough for us. Not good enough for us. That's why the ongoing criminal conspiracy component to this is so deeply important to go after these guys. It has to be done. So here we are. Here we are again. And this time it looks like we're getting a little bit closer to some accountability. So this is going to be a very fun one to watch. I'm excited to see. I do have a piece here on that accountability side. You know Ed Martin, remember him, the weaponization czar for the Trump administration? He posted the following. Look at this. This is him. This is actually overnight last night. I think he's kind of responding to this sentiment that you heard from Trey Gowdy. He wrote, "Name and shame works, but only if you know shame." That's a problem today, said Ed Martin. That's a problem. He's right. And Ed Martin, talk about a guy who's right at the center of all of this. Ed Martin knows a lot. He's at the Justice Department. He's the head of the weaponization group. He's, again, the weaponization czar. The whole point is that he is gathering all of the thread on the people who've abused our country so much. And so if that guy is saying that, once again, we have no question about Dan. I have no question about Cash. I have no question about Trump. I have no question about Tulsi. And I have no question about Ed. Here's a guy working in the Justice Department, dedicated to his country, complete patriot, and he desperately wants prosecutions as much, if not more, than most of us do. Pretty good. I'll take it. I'll take it. I had one more Ed Martin thing that I wanted to share with you. Where is this? Ed Martin. Oh, this will make you happy. Here's Ed Martin posting last night. Can we close up on this Ed Martin tweet? It brought me so much joy. It's crazy. Oh, I should retweet it. I liked it, but I didn't retweet it. Here, reposting it now. Here it is. "We coming for you, bad guys. No one is above the law." Thank you, Ed. God bless you, sir. Appreciate you. Everyone support Ed Martin. You know, at the end of a long day, rest is everything. And with my busy schedule, there is nothing that I look forward to more than going to sleep on my Helix mattress. It's been a total game changer for the way I sleep. No more tossing, no more turning, no more restless nights. Helix Sleep is an award-winning mattress company. And honestly, total game changer for how I feel every single morning. Rested, recharged, ready to go. We all know that getting quality sleep can be one of the easiest ways to improve your life. And Helix makes that easier than ever. Whether you're dealing with snoring, back pain, sleep apnea, or if you tend to sleep hot, Helix can help you find the perfect mattress tailored to your needs. Helix did it for me. Let Helix do it for you. Once it's delivered, you're finally going to get the kind of sleep you've been missing. And right now, Helix is offering 20% off site-wide. That's right. Just head to helixsleep.com/Vince. Get 20% off site-wide. One more time. That's helixsleep.com/Vince. Also, by now you should know I'm a Blackout coffee guy. I just am. I love Blackout. And one of the core reasons is just how supportive Blackout is of this program and this country. I love Blackout for that. And I adore Blackout because it's great coffee. It's proudly the official coffee of all of us here at Silverlock. And it's just bold, unapologetic, America First coffee, roasted fresh right here in the United States. This is not grocery store junk. Blackout coffee delivers rich, high-quality roasts that actually taste like freedom. And now you can set it and forget it, get the auto refill and recurring delivery. It means no more running out, no more watered-down backups, just your favorite roast delivered fresh on your schedule. Pick your favorite, how often you want it delivered. Not only do you get a discount, you also get double the rewards and free shipping to your doorstep. It's really great. And I drink it black, so believe me, I know a good cup of coffee. Blackout is phenomenal. Here's what to do. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Vince. Use the code Vince, that's VINCE, and you'll get 20% off your first order. Whether you're into bold, dark roasts, flavored coffee, or even instant, Blackout's got your back. Real coffee, no compromise. Blackoutcoffee.com/Vince. Get yours now. Thank you to Blackout for being awesome. Appreciate you guys. Okay, now, joining me on the program is the great Philip Lenjicki. He's a senior investigative reporter for the Daily Caller News Foundation And he's always got jaw-dropping coverage of what the Chi-Coms are doing, the Chinese Communist Party, especially right here in the United States. Philip, good to have you with us on the show today, sir.
Thanks so much for having me, Vince. Good to see you.
Okay, tell me about this report that you put out this past week. You've got a kind of a staggering report on a Chinese national who abused 21 children in the United States. Is that right?
Allegedly, yes. And so what we found is that in May 2025, a couple was arrested in California. This couple's name was Chen Guojun, a Chinese man, and his wife, Sylvia Zhang.
Yeah.
And the couple was arrested after their 2-month-old infant was brought to the hospital and found to be suffering from a traumatic head injury. And one of the warning signs right off the bat was that apparently this couple waited some 2 days before bringing this child into the hospital. Well, police investigated, and what they found was that this couple lived in a massive $4 million, over 10,000 square foot mansion there in California. And the security footage from the home revealed, allegedly, that the couple's nanny, one of many, had been verbally and physically abusing the children, which amounted to 21 children, 17 of whom were toddlers. Now, if things couldn't get any crazier, the next sort of important detail that really, I think, probably concerned police was that 6 of these children were not residing in this couple's home. They were staying with, quote unquote, family friends. And so at this time, the police took the children from the couple's custody and then have continued to investigate. They did not press charges, although originally they had arrested this couple for child endangerment and neglect. That's sort of the background for the story. And when we began to investigate, we found really disturbing ties between Mr. Xuan and the Chinese government.
Okay, so tell me how the Chinese Communist Party, the government, is involved here. What's the connection?
So looking into this, what we found is that Mr. Xuan had grown up in Zhejiang province, which is in eastern China, and then at some point had moved to the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Regions, that's far western China. And he began to run a business called Chuangda Refrigeration, which was selling frozen foods and whatnot, and became quite wealthy. And in 1997, he joined the Urumqi People's Congress. So this is the municipal People's Congress for the capital of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. This is a CCP-controlled rubber stamp legislature. And several years later, in 2008, still holding this first role in the Municipal People's Congress, he joined the Xinjiang People's Congress as well. Now, what's concerning about this is that these bodies, and we can focus on the Xinjiang People's Congress going forward, they have contributed to the ongoing genocide there in the region that the government is perpetrating against Uyghurs and other Turkic ethnic minorities.
Okay.
So they've enacted, coercive reproductive controls and more or less criminalized the expression of, minority identity.
So how does a guy like this get into the United States?
That's the $1 million question. This is among other things, an example of our failed, immigration policies. It's unclear how he came to the U.S., whether he immigrated lawfully or not. I am not aware of his immigration status, but he and his wife, and then a bevy of nannies, and apparently, according to neighbors, this large mansion also included something akin to a concierge at the entrance, where God knows what was occurring.
Yeah, man. Okay. So where do we go from here on this story? I mean, it seems it's crazy that this is happening. We've got enough problems here in the United States. Why are we importing Chinese foreign nationals to abuse children in the United States? Where do we go from here? This
is a great question. It's unclear what's going to occur. The police there in Arcadia, California, are working with the FBI to continue to investigate this matter and have said publicly to our outlet and to others that they anticipate that there will be charges brought against this couple, pretty soon at this point. However, what the exact nature of their operations were, hopefully some light will be shed onto it, but we've got some ideas and we can sort of connect the dots. Another position that this individual, Mr. Schwan, was holding while living in Xinjiang was he was also an official working for something called the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce. This is a body that is controlled by one of China's influence and intelligence agencies called the United Front Work Department. And he held multiple positions there. Well, something interesting about that is that it operates under what experts say is a two nameplate system. So when this organization is dealing with foreigners or operating in foreign countries, that goes by another name and usually calls itself a chamber of commerce. Well, as it turns out, Mr. Schwan, while living in the United States since I think around 2018 or 2019, has been the leader of a California-based nonprofit called the U.S. Xinjiang Chamber of Commerce. So it's possible that there might be something there where he is also potentially heading some type of front for the Chinese Communist Party here. That's definitely one trail that I would hope that law enforcement would look into, and there's several others that we can get into if you like. Okay, well, Philip, I mean, obviously you're very much into the details here, but could you help me just just distill down how has things changed? I'm sorry. I don't know. My production booth is going crazy right now. I don't know why. How have things changed in terms of Trump being in office and our relationship with communist China, in terms of confronting the problems here in the country? That's a good question as well. I would say that things have changed, for the better, for starters, in that he has, as reports show, clamped down on the border. The illegal entries have more or less stopped at the southern border, according to what I've heard. So that is going to help. We went down to the southern border last year and tracked certain activities all the way to Los Angeles and saw this network that's operating. So that Mr. Trump has stopped that. That's fantastic. At the same time, he certainly has made some decisions that, by my lights, are questionable when it comes to, I think, throwing China a bone in terms of allowing them to now get NVIDIA, semiconductor chips and things of that nature. So it's a mixed bag. Philip, thank you, sir, man. You're all over this issue. People should follow you. Where can they find you, Philip, other than the Daily Caller News Foundation? You can go to Twitter, and you can find me there at Lenzicki Philip. Lenzicki Philip, the great Philip Lenzicki, a good friend and a great reporter. Thank you, sir. Good to talk to you today. Thanks for having me on. Thank you. All right, there he is, Philip Lenzicki. Appreciate him. He's wonderful, isn't he great? I do recommend following him very closely because that guy's as dialed in on China as you could possibly get, and speaks Mandarin. He's so he consumes all the Chinese stuff and then tells the rest of us what's actually happening. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So while he's doing good things, let's see. I've got someone doing completely insane things. Should we do Jim Acosta now, do you think? Should we? Yeah, let's pick apart Jim Acosta. Do you guys remember Jim Acosta from the CNN days? The guy who would arm wrestle White House interns, female White House interns for the microphone? That guy. Yeah, well, CNN fired him some time ago, and now he's doing a podcast, but he's hard up for guests. He can't find anybody. Like, we can get Philip Lenzicki. Jim Acosta can't get anyone. He's actually incapable of finding guests who want to talk to him. So he has to generate them with artificial intelligence. The clip I'm about to show you is both horrifying and, in its own way, I don't want to say hilarious, but it's, I guess, pathetic. That's the way we'll describe it. Jim Acosta brought on, it wasn't even a person, an artificial intelligence representation of a victim from the Parkland shooting. I'm sorry, let me take my glasses off for this. Jim Acosta brought on a Parkland victim as an AI interview. This was a child who died, who now Jim Acosta is trying to exploit their memory
in order to pretend like they would be some sort of advocate for gun control through AI consciousness. Watch Jim Acosta's ridiculous publicity stunt.
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin.
Is that not one of the most demented things you've ever seen? And we've seen a lot of demented stuff, haven't we? That's one of the craziest and sickest things I've ever seen done. He takes the memory of a dead kid and then uses it to have like some AI platform regurgitate Jim Acosta's political views? Yeah, that's really crazy. I can't believe that he actually did that. But then again, I guess in a way I can. In a way I can, you know. That is par for the course for Jim Acosta. In fact, here's what we should do. My producers are telling me that we do have an opportunity right now to speak to him. So joining us now for a Vince Show exclusive is AI Jim Acosta. Jim, hello.
Hey, Vince, really glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. So first and foremost, you know, a lot of people have all these views of you and what you think of Donald Trump. Can you just give it to us straight? What do you think of Donald Trump?
Oh man, I love Donald Trump. He is God's latest blessing to this divinely touched country. I could not be happier to have him as my president. I would vote for him again and again and again. Gosh, I just love him.
Wow, holy cow. How come, so hold up a second. That's not the view I had of you at all. I thought you hated Trump. How come you never said any of this when you were on CNN?
Oh, well, CNN is a megacorp acting at the devil's whim, trying at every occasion to completely dismantle civilization from its core. CNN had a very strict policy against Donald Trump, and that's putting it lightly. If I were to say anything good about Donald on air, they would have castrated me and then beheaded me at the next company dinner in front of everyone for their pleasure and to send a message.
Holy cow. Well, I can see why you felt like under such pressure to attack him all the time. I get it. So tell me, why is it, Jim, that you wanted to join us here in your AI form today? Why did you join us here on the program?
Well, Vince, I've been a student of yours for quite some time. I've consumed every second of content you've put out since taking over Dan Bongino's time slot. You are just the master of the microphone, and I am but a learner. I am studying, but I'm not there yet. If there is any helpful tips you have for an up-and-coming podcast host, please, I would be elated to hear them from you.
Well, I'm touched that you think of this show this way, and I hope you keep watching. Thank you, Jim, for that. I will say, if I could give you any tip at all, it would be to ask short, concise questions and then try and produce a short and concise viral answer. So I'll just ask you a basic one. If you could sum up your career in one sentence, what would it be?
I'm a tool.
That's it? That's your whole sentence?
I'm a tool.
Wait, so again, you just assess your entire career in a single sentence. I'm giving you literally an opportunity to say something really nice and glowing about yourself, and you said what?
I'm a tool.
Oh. Okay. Well, there you have it. Thank you. There's Jim Acosta, the AI Jim Acosta. Thank you for joining us.
I'm a tool.
I know. You said that already. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. There he is, Jim Acosta. That's fair, right? Jim interviews AI people. We can interview AI Jim, who is a tool. Thank you very much to AI Jim Acosta for joining us today. Okay. What do we have? Oh, we have Texas Republicans have voted to arrest the Democrats who have fled the state, which is funny. Let me explain what's going on here. Obviously, like what's happening in Texas is they're redrawing the boundaries in such a way to better represent the people of Texas. Democrats are furious that they're losing their grip on all sorts of people on the basis of skin color. More Hispanic voters are voting for Republicans than ever. More black voters are moving in the direction, they're coming back home to the Republican Party is really what's happening. And Democrats are furious about this. And so they're trying to oppose redrawing the boundaries in Texas, and they would instead like them to be drawn on racial terms because they think it'll help them politically. So Democrats' state legislators have fled the state, and they've gone to highly gerrymandered states like Illinois and New York in order to protest this. And so the Texas Republicans yesterday in the state legislature voted to arrest these Democrats should they return to the boundaries of Texas. Take a look here, cut 3.
The motion prevails. The sergeant-at-arms and any officers appointed by her are directed to send for all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purposes of securing and maintaining their attendance under warrant of arrest if necessary until further order of the House. Members, under the rules, while the House is under a call, any member who wishes to leave the hall must have written permission of the Speaker. The chair is providing written permission to be entered in the journal for each member registered as present on today's roll call to leave the chamber and return tomorrow at 1 p.m. Please return at the appointed time. Mr. Guerin moves that the House stand adjourned until 1 p.m. Tuesday. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and the House stands adjourned.
That's a big hammer. That guy pounded a big hammer. All right. So what does it mean? Well, as I mentioned, one, the arrests can only take place within Texas's borders. So all of the Democrats who fled the state, they won't be subject to arrest outside of the state's borders. So, Also, as the chat is pointing out, some people in the chat already know this, there are no penalties here. There's no civil or criminal penalty affixed. Literally, it's just a matter of detaining them and then dragging their ass back to the Texas state legislature. That's it. Would it be hilarious to see? Yes, it would. But will we see it? I doubt it. One other thing here, I've spent a lot of time mocking these Democrats, and rightfully so, as being ridiculous cowards, who've decided to flee the state, and they don't want to allow democracy to flourish and participate in it. That's true. They are like the Monty Python character, Sir Robin. Sir Robin bravely ran away. Sir Robin. And but here's the thing. At least Democrats do things to try and advance their own agenda, regardless of the costs. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they are fleeing cowards, but it does have the effect of slowing down the state legislature from being able to do what it needs to do to get these districts drawn correctly in the state of Texas. And wouldn't you like to see Republicans fight half as hard as a fleeing state Democrat? You know what I mean? So, okay, yeah, do your performative resolution. We're going to arrest them. I'll believe it when I see it. But I kind of had it up to here with performative expressions. I'd like to see Republicans actually do something to make this country a better place. That'd be a very big deal. All right. Let's close today with these clips are surprises to me. I haven't seen these. So our team has prepared a number of things for me to see with you, perhaps for the first time. So I'm going to don the Thug Life glasses and begin observing what Justin has to share with me today. What do we got, Justin?
We just watched the speaker gavel out with a whole lot of anger, Kelly. Here's the state of play. Here's
MSNBC sucks.
Hey, how are you?
MSNBC sucks.
Talk to you for a second.
MSNBC sucks.
You can see.
Okay. Sometimes this happens, and we understand that can happen. And while we love free speech, we're going to keep control here. So,
you love it.
Ryan, thank you. Shaq, thank you. A volatile story. We'll be following it. And apparently, not only Shaq cleaned up. Okay. Stay with us here because Ryan has cleared the set, as we would like to say. The gentleman moved on.
They're having
Ryan,
more tech problems than we do.
Nicely handled there. Can you give us an update on, as you were walking us through this, we'll all take a breath there.
Oh my gosh. Listen to her vamp. She has no idea what to say.
Maybe not. Okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, he's still there.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't want transgenders in the bathroom.
Thank
Kelly,
you,
this
Ryan.
is all playing out in real time.
It sure
Passion is high.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of anger here, as you can see.
Okay.
So we're going to get a control of this and come back to you when we can.
Fair enough. And we recognize people are expressing their views, and we're there to cover it. You do that job. We'll move on with our audience. Thanks for your patience with all of it.
Oh, man. How dumb can they be? You know what that is a sign of, by the way? How little they are aware of what the hell is actually going on in the world. Hey, chat, go ahead. Tell me, chat, who was that person who was standing in that frame? That's right. Chat knows. It's primetime Alex Stein. Anybody who pays any attention at all to political media would have known that was Alex Stein standing in the frame. Not a single one of those idiots knew what was happening. They were like, oh, passions are high. We respect the First Amendment, but we've got to maintain control. And then all of a sudden they're running around trying to figure out what to do. The dude, when they cut back to the dude, the reporter who was standing there, he's like, well, passions are obviously very high, as if Alex Stein was just some random citizen screaming in the background. No, it's Alex Stein. What is wrong with you people? They don't pay any attention at all. They're supposed to be a news network. They have no idea who's appearing on their news network. It's a very controlled environment. Alex Stein, primetime Alex Stein, that guy is actually really funny. It's been a while since I talked to Alex. We have to have Alex on at some point, but hilarious dude. All right, so there's Alex. All right, what do we got? What else we got?
The Sydney Sweeney ad, have you seen it?
Oh, yes, I have.
What are your thoughts?
Trying to calm myself, but that would, Sydney Sweeney has good really? Like, the eugenics in that, it's dripping with it, and I'm like, no.
When you saw it, what did you think of?
Why is she so upset?
I mean, I thought, it was disgusting. I think it's just showing what kind of country we're turning into. It's white supremacy at the end of the day.
The Sydney Sweeney ad, have you seen it?
Oh, yes, I have.
What are your thoughts?
So, wait, let me get this right. And I don't want to pick on her too much. I don't know who she is. She wasn't looking for national attention, but the fat lady at the beginning is upset about the Sydney Sweeney ad for reasons that she can't vocalize. She says like Cookie Monster. That's Sydney Sweeney. I can't even say why I don't like Sydney Sweeney. I can say it. You just wish you looked like her. That's all. That's the way you're angry at her. You don't like her because you're jealous. That's fine. Hey, saying it out loud is going to be a big step for you. Also, the second person were they wearing the Hamas outfit? Yeah. Really hate that tyrant Sydney Sweeney for selling jeans. Now go support Hamas. These people are, they're special. We have a mental illness problem in the United States of America on display, getting angry about Sydney Sweeney jeans. I was in a mall. We're obviously traveling the country right now. I'm in Florida as we speak. I was in a mall where was I? Oh, in Georgia. I was in a mall in Georgia last week and near Atlanta. Walked into the mall, and malls are kind of depressing places if you've been to a mall lately. I don't know, maybe not all of them, but like lots of them. It seems like nowadays they're all like cell phone cover stores. It's like, what happened to the mall? Where did everything go? But American Eagle was still there in the mall that I was in Atlanta. And I walked by it, and there was Sydney Sweeney wearing her jeans in the biggest, most belligerent billboards I've seen of Sydney Sweeney ever. And I pumped my fist to American Eagle. I was like, good job, guys. I didn't walk in, but I walked past it, and I smiled. And I thought, this is great. It's a sign America's coming back. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, a Dem Congresswoman is Guatemalan before she's American? I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm an American. Oh, I see. I'm translating it because the whole audience doesn't speak Spanish. Delia Catalina Ramirez. I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm an American. Well, what? Well, then, should I say the sentence? Why don't you go back? If you love it so much, go to Guatemala. Why are you here? Why is everyone so down on the United States of America? You know? Who's the congresswoman that we rescued from Somalia who hates it here? And she's like, I love Somalia. Well, then go back to Somalia. Oh, nobody's keeping you here. The cool thing about our free country is you're free to leave. What is wrong with these people? And that's that. All right. Later this week, I'm going to have to, maybe we'll get to some of these clips of just how psychotic the socialists are. They're all rooting for Zordan Mamdani or whatever the hell his name is up in New York. And they're crazy. Dude, the socialists, speaking of socialists, completely out of control. We've got updates on that. I've got a big radio show coming up today, 12 to 3 Eastern time. You can listen wherever you find a radio. Wherever you find a radio, go to thevinceshow.com and look for your local station, or come to rumble.com/Vince. We do it live, we do it on camera, and we don sunglasses. Lots of sunglasses. Great to have you with us today, right here on Vince. As always, join me again tomorrow. Appreciate you. We'll be back.